What's going on YouTube? My name is GinJTCG or Chris, and today I'm back with the new Dump and Swing deck from Surging Sparks, Ceruledge EX. With the Abyssal Flames attack, you do 30 damage plus 20 more for every energy in the discard pile. So when you throw 20 energy in the deck and you discard as many as you can, you swing for unholy amounts of damage very easily, since all you have to do is attach swing. So the goal of the deck, again, very simple deck. It's not meant to be a complicated one. The goal of the deck is to set up a few Ceruledge as quickly as possible to get you through the game, attach an energy to each of them a turn, and then swing for OHKOs every single time. To make sure we're doing that when we go first, because like ideally we want to go first with this deck so we can evolve and swing it as soon as possible. We want to go first, get all of our Charcadet down to make sure we're doing that. We got Squawk as well as Battle Compressor. And Battle Compressor, what am I saying? Brilliant Blender. I don't know how I mixed those two cards up. They're not similar. Anyways, Brilliant Blender, the new A spec from Searching Sparks. You search your deck for up to 5 cards and discard them and then shuffle your deck. So naturally, when you first look at that card, you're going to be like, okay, no, it makes sense because you're just going to get rid of 5 energy, put them in your discard, you can swing harder, which is true. However, sometimes you're going to have a Night Stretcher or 2 in your hand before playing Carmine or Research. So if you could use Brilliant Blender to put Charcadets or maybe Radiant Greninja or even Squawk in your discard pile, you can then use a Night Stretcher to take it back and dig through your deck further. So a lot of times, like I found out, like actually playing through this deck, I'm like, wow, you know, when I'm thinking between Brilliant Blender and Legacy Energy, because I feel like those are the two Ceruledge builds. I was playing Legacy Energy originally during, like, 2 of the testing games, and I was like, it was cool. One game it worked, one game I got hit with Temple of Sinnoh. Whereas the third game, I'm like, let me give Brilliant Blender a shot, and the first game I played with it, that's kind of what happened, where I had Carmine Night Stretcher and Brilliant Blender in hand, so I was able to get rid of a bunch of energy while taking Squawk in the discard pile as well to get Night Stretcher back, and really make sure that my first turn, I got rid of everything to dig even deeper. So it actually became a very nice ace spec that I think I'm more fond of in this deck. Past that right there, our draw engine for pretty much the rest of the game, because I've seen builds that are using B-Barrel or Reveroom is one I'm liking, and I think if I revisit the deck, I'm going to look at those builds. However, I kind of like the simplicity of a deck like this. You really don't need to draw many cards after your first turn, since you're dumping 40 of them in discard almost immediately. So I'm playing Radiant Greninja to get rid of whatever energy we end up having left after my first turn or 2, as well as Fezandipiti, because with a deck like this, like, we're trying to take 2 prizes every turn, and we don't really care if our opponent does as long as we do it first and better. So I don't mind having Fezandipiti as a 2 prize liability. Also, Flip the Script is just very overpowered. And again, since we get rid of so much of our deck early on, I feel like Flip the Script in this deck gets more and more powerful, even by the time you'll only get to turn like 3, maybe 4, just because you've dug through your deck that much. We're playing heavy discard, like style of play. Obviously, we got Brilliant Blender. We're also playing 2 PokéStops as our stadium just to get extra cards in discard, as well as any of our, honestly, wide choice of items. We got 4 Vessel, 4 Ultra Ball, again, to make sure we're getting energy in the discard. We're playing 4 Carmine because the goal is to go first, but we also do have a 1 of Research in case, you know, we're going second or we happen to get it. It's honestly not a bad card to draw into if you need a bigger hand. We're playing 1 Iono, 3 Boss, just to make sure we're gusting up any 2 prize Pokemon we need, because we really want to go 2-4-6 with this deck. We really don't have the longevity like other decks might be able to do. And then we're playing 1 copy of Briar. And Briar is probably the card, like, if I had to change one from the deck, it probably would be Briar. Just because I feel like this deck doesn't have an insane search, so you kind of just have to hope you have it at the time you can actually use it. I mean, when you do use it, it is one of the most clutch cards in the decks, but you have to rely on your RNG of kind of naturally drawing into it a little bit more to up the chances of it, because Briar is so useful in a deck like this. Like, Dusknoir can really throw this deck off and put you on that odd prize. So if you could use Briar after maybe killing a single prize Pokemon, after your opponent used Dusknoir, you know, and kind of get your opponent back at 2 prizes, you do it after that, and then you use Briar when your opponent's back on 2 prizes. To up our chances of finding it, I am playing 2 copies of Pokégear. Again, it's not perfect, it's not the best search to get the supporter out, but just in general, taking that extra prize card is very nice, especially if you're worried about falling onto that odd prize card against maybe like a stage 2 deck or something like that. That could really help you out from dealing with like a late game Radiant Charizard is one that comes to mind, because every now and then it's in Dragapult and Charizard EX. So, you know, that's a popular one that could throw off our prize trade. So being able to take that extra prize and be at 1 remaining makes it much easier to close out a lot of games. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the list. I mean, there's really not much more to talk about. The goal is very simple. It's get all your energy and discard, set up 2 or 3 of these guys. I mean, ideally 3, but if you got 2, you just gotta hope you live an attack at some point. And then just swing hard, swing fast, and hope you can kind of deal with your opponent before they set up and get rolling. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the list. Before we get into today's 3 matches, I just want to say thank you to all the people who've been using my TCG player link. If you don't know what TCG player is, or you don't know where my link is, it's in the description down below. And TCG player is like the eBay or Amazon of card game stuff, period. It's got any card game singles you need, any, like, you know, anything your local game store will sell, you can find on TCG player, and more. From deck accessories, dice, to card games, singles. If you're a collector and you want specific arts, go on TCG player. If you use my link and you order cards within 48 hours of clicking on my link, you support the channel in a huge way. So I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been using that link, and everyone who's going to use that link after hearing that little message. With that being said, thanks for tuning in for the intro. Let's get after it with Ceruledge EX and see how many games we can go for. I'm going for the perfect record 3-0 with this deck. This is one of the decks I am most hyped for. So I want to get that train rolling and show everyone what this deck is all about. Welcome to match number 1, where we open up with, honestly, it's a pretty decent hand. I mean, we're going first. That's the most important thing. But we do have Nest Ball for Squawk, another Charcadet. We've got Vessel, PokéStop. You know, like, this isn't bad. I'm rocking with this. Our opponent leads Pidgey Bidoof, so it doesn't tell me anything they're playing at all. And we top deck Charcadet, which is actually perfect because now I'm much more comfortable nest balling up a Squawkabilly here just to dig deeper. And yes, we're getting rid of Ceruledge, but that's okay. You know, that's something we're gonna have to rock with and accept. So we'll Vessel here, get rid of a bunch of energy, just in case. You know, I am a little worried about getting a donk, not with the current setup. I don't think they will. But just to be safer, it's only 1 energy to attack. I don't see, just in case they get the donk, I'd rather, I guess, keep the energy on the bench Charcadet. Again, it'll be very easy to just attach swing anyways, if it's not KO'd, which is what I'm assuming, so I'll just try to play it a little safer. And this isn't a bad hand. I don't really want to Carmine either, because I don't know if we'll really need to. Like, I could Pokégear. The chance of me hitting Carmine is pretty high. However, I don't know if I want to. Honestly, next turn, I might even take an Iono Ray. I think here, I'm going to go PokéStop, but I'm just going to try to see what I get off the top 3. That hurts a little bit, actually. Losing to Ceruledge makes things a little bit more difficult, because now I need to rely on Night Stretcher a whole lot more. Just to get those guys back and get ready to just evolve swing every turn. But it's not the end of the world. You know, again, an evolving deck like this, we've got enough energy and discard to more than KO whatever Pokemon we're kind of staring at. And they played Pokemon League Headquarters, which is not going to affect our stadium, or our deck at all. That only affects basic, so that stadium is going to be more or less a little useless against us. But it tells me they might be playing a control type deck, and it's Gengar. Oh, that's fun. That's actually really interesting, because we have a lot of energy, so theoretically we should be fine, but we also want to get rid of, like, all of our energy, so that could be really interesting. However, our opponent just passes, so they clearly did not have the setup they wanted. So it might just be a big research route for us. I hate to lose Briar, Iono, and Boss from this research. However, playing the game is also pretty essential, especially when our opponent could be discarding a lot of energy. If we could just stop them from doing that by stopping them from playing, that would be preferred. And this is a phenomenal hand. So we'll have our 3 Charcadets down, which is pretty much all I'll need for the game. And now I'm going to check how many energy we got left in the deck. So we got 8 energy left. That should be enough to carry us through the rest of the game, even with, you know, our opponent probably playing a lot of crushing hammers and just ways to move energy, get rid of energy, whatever. So yeah, we could Ultra Ball here. We could handle getting rid of 2 more. I kind of want to keep the Nest Ball just in case we need Fez, but I also kind of want to just full send it just in case. You know what? No, let's keep the Nest Ball just in case I need Fez if they take the KO. And I prized my last Charcadet or Ceruledge. Oh, this is bad. Okay. I didn't see this one coming. I did not think about what happens if I prized the two of them. That's huge. That's so huge. Well, just trust the deck, Chris. I mean, you know, I made the deck obviously built for consistency. Why would I second guess anything but that? In case they hit me with the Iono, I'm going to smack that down and swing 230, turn 2. I am loving that. Any basic VEX cooked right there, and that's my proof. And we didn't even chase down the Carmine turn 1. I don't know if we could. I don't know if we could have, but still, yeah, this deck is insane. We needed one thing, we got that one thing. That was all I needed to see. My heart plummeted for a second there. I was like, I don't know what to do when our opponent concedes. That is going to be an easy dunk, rip through. I mean, hey, that's Ceruledge, man. You know, you just kind of attack your opponents, and especially against these evolving decks, if they don't have a good hand, you know, theoretically, it's like a rougher matchup because you're not going 2-4-6. But I feel like out of all of the decks, those are a little brickier. So if you could take out a core piece like Pidgey right there, they kind of fall apart a bit. And we are very hyper-aggressive, very aggro, hard-hitting deck. That is surprisingly consistent for playing 20 energy. So, you know, we're rocking with that. That was solid match number 1. Let's get into match number 2 and see if we could keep the hype going. Welcome to match number 2, where our opponent is Fire Energy. Oh, man. I was gonna take a stab, I guess, in the new Pikachu deck, just because I know a lot of people have been running it on the ladder, which, by the way, is a pretty bad matchup for this deck. But they're playing Fire Energy, so I'm confused. Maybe a mirror match, actually. Oh my god, you know what? No, it's totally a mirror match. Why else would they be flying through energy? Oh my god, dude. It's mirror match after mirror match in these new videos. I am loving it. However, my opponent went first. So it's like, it's bad. It's not good. I mean, we have a banger of a turn 1 hand. However, this deck really likes to evolve to win the game, and if I'm not evolving, I'm not winning. So our opponent's going to get the Night Stretcher there, so they're going to be pulling off the big play, and they're playing something we're not, which is Fan Rotom. And I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong. I've seen that in a lot of builds. I have no idea why that is super useful in this deck, because we're playing no other Pokemon that are normal types with 100 HP or less. So unless I'm like really missing something obvious, please yell at me and explain to me why people are playing that, because I don't get it. Unless it's just there for the Assault Landing attack, which I feel like is insane. Yeah, that would be mental. And if it's there for the Assault Landing attack, I mean, word, all right, fair enough. You know, that's, I guess something. So yeah, our opponent's going to get the one Charcadet down, which is pretty good for them. And they are, actually, our hand is crazy now that I look at it too. So let's get Fezandipiti on the bench. I've got a feeling our active Charcadet is going to be seeing the discard pile mighty soon. We might as well get Squawkabilly. I am going to be using it this turn. I'm also going to get Radiant Greninja because extra draw is nice. And I will finish it off with getting Charcadet because one of these Charcadets is dying. It's just a matter of which one. So I'm going to use Squawk and Seize first, get a couple energy in the discard pile, and draw into a whole lot more energy. And this is where I start to feel a little bit of pain. I did not check if my last Ceruledge is prized, as well as if or how many Night Stretchers are prized. So this is going to be scary. However, we're playing a dump and go deck. Goodbye, Ceruledge, and hello, new hand. Gotta love it. Got to love it. All right. Now we can check. And I am loving this hand. I think, you know what? No, we're getting rid of the energy. It's whatever. All right. Let's take these two energy out of the deck. We got the last one in the deck. That's huge. And how many Night Stretchers? We got all the Night Stretchers. Oh, my gosh, I absolutely love to see that. So we are going to rip concealed cards there. I'm going to attach the energy to one. Oh, ooh, I lied. You know what? They're not playing any other stadium but PokéStop. I can handle getting rid of... Or should I get rid of another energy? You know what? I want to swing for more damage than them. I'm getting rid of an energy. Do I need more energy in the discard pile? I don't think so. Not 100% certain. But for now, this is just an easy attach. Pass. I'm not going to rip the PokéStop. There's nothing I need too bad going into next turn. So I'm just going to kind of hang tight and wait to see what my opponent does. The One thing I am happy about right now is we do have Pokégear in our hand. So I can look for one of our boss's orders, and I don't think we got rid of any. Yeah, we didn't get rid of any boss's orders, luckily. So never mind, they put Ceruledge in the active. I was going to say, I want to boss that thing up before they can attack with it or get any other Charcadets down. And that's a big PokéStop, actually. Them losing those cards is pretty big for us. But I wanted to be more aggressive and take the first 2 prize KOs. So now we just have to dodge boss's orders. And if we could do that, which we do, we're kind of home free unless... Oh, they didn't have energy! Wow, I was like, they had boss in hand. Why didn't they do that? They were actually missing the energy in a 20 energy deck. Of course they played Pokemon Catcher. Why wouldn't I play against the Ceruledge deck with Pokemon Catcher? It's actually a really good item for this deck. And it's the Legacy build. Oh, it is time. It is time to see which is better, Battle Compressor or Legacy Energy. I cannot wait. And I think what we want to do here is see if we could boss Fez. If I could boss Fezandipiti, I think that's going to be better than going on that odd prize card with Ceruledge. However, if we could pull off Briar at some point because of Legacy Energy, that is also something we could use to take the last 3 prize cards of the game. Or I guess 2, I don't know, we'll figure it out. The Briar math will work somehow. But I'm actually so happy that we're able to pull a mirror match with the opposite build. So, of course, they had the advantage because they're going first. However, we've got the potential to take the first 2 prize KO because we didn't evolve. So, I think we're on pretty equal footing so long as I can hit boss's orders here. If I can get draw into boss's orders, I think we'll be chilling. So, I'm going to promote Charcadet. And, okay, I need to thin the deck as much as possible. That is really going to help me out. So I'm going to hold on to this energy. I'm going to get rid of PokéStop, just in case. I need that energy to attach or something, and I just want to get more out of the deck. So I'm going to Nest Ball, take out my last Charcadet, and then I'm going to Ultra Ball, take out Ceruledge. And I'm going to get rid of 2 energy, take out my Ceruledge EX, and... Alright, we don't have many energy left. I do have to be a little careful. Actually, no, we got a whole bunch of energy left. Let's concealed cards. Why not? Concealed cards, Fezandipiti, then Pokégear. And that's actually pretty big. I'm rocking with that. Okay, so now Fezandipiti. I don't want to PokéStop if I don't have to. I don't want to lose Briar or Boss. And if I can keep my Pokégear for next turn so I don't have 2 Boss's orders, oh my gosh, does that feel even better. So I am loving this. We did get a Night Stretcher. So you know what? Actually, I'm going to use it now in case our opponent plays Iono this turn or something like that. I just want to make sure I've got options. I've got my Ceruledges in play, ready to rumble at all moments. And I think here we're going to go for the Boss on Fezandipiti. It's a 2 prize KO. I know we're taking. We've definitely got enough energy in the discard. Yeah, 250. Didn't even need to check that math. I knew we had, like, what, there's 10, 11 in there. So we were chilling. I don't remember exactly how many energy. Now all we have to boss out of the prizes. Oh my god, this is feeling good. I'm not gonna lie. I like where we're sitting a little more than my opponent. We didn't get to put Battle Compressor to the full test yet. But that's okay, because I know in my heart I'm not playing their deck. I'm playing the opposite build, so if I can still take them and not even get full value out of all of the resources in my deck, I mean, dude, we're rocking with that. And our opponent's also at 8 cards left, so they got to be a little mindful of their resources. However, at this point, it's really just going to be attach a Vol's swing for all of us, with the exception of looking for a boss's orders. So there's the Ultra Ball there. If they get Ceruledge EX, please. And they're playing Jet. Okay, so yeah, they're playing the total opposite build we are, and they fail the Ultra Ball, which is surprising that they didn't take another Ceruledge. They've got 2 cards left in hand. Maybe they're choosing not to bench one, and they get rid of 3 more cards. They got 5 cards left in their deck. I know now they're going to really start slowing down what they're KOing. Okay. Alright, so what's our play here? What is our play here? I could boss up Squawk. I don't know if that's totally... I mean, we'd be taking 2 prizes. And then maybe we could look for Briar the turn after. Oh no, because they won't be at exactly 2. They'll be at 1 prize left. Ooh, that's sticky. That's not ideal. That's pretty sweet though. I like getting that energy here. And now we can just kind of full send, get rid of the rest of the energy in our deck. I don't think we need them at this point. I mean, they could boss stall us, but like they'll run out of cards in their deck before we will. And we got 1 energy left. So we got Boss and Briar left in the deck. However, Briar's not going to work because our opponent is not going to be at exactly 2 prizes remaining. So that's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. So, okay. How do I do this? How do I do this? If they don't evolve another Ceruledge, we're kind of cooked. Because they're not falling onto that odd prize card, huh? Maybe this is why they play Fan Rotom. So you could, like, boss up a Charcadet, swing for 70, take that odd prize, put your opponent back on the odd prize. That would make the most sense. Okay. We're gonna concealed cards. Just dig a little bit deeper. Sorry, I was spending a lot of time thinking, trying to think of how I get out of this one. And Night Stretcher is one of the other pieces of the puzzle I need, just so I can make sure I've got all of my Ceruledges. I've got all 3 of them that I needed to make sure I could finish the game. And here, I think we've got more cards than our opponent, so I don't hate a flip the script play. And we get another boss's orders. That's so big. That is so big. I could even try to look for Iono and KO their active, because then they might not be able to evolve, honestly. We're swinging 310. Do we have Iono in the deck? Alright, and I'll explain what I'm thinking in a second. I'm actually going to get rid of PokéStop. We don't need more energy to discard PAL. I might need it to retreat or something. We do have Iono in the deck. That's huge. Okay, so I'm going to play Pokégear. Okay, the reason I'm thinking Iono, right? If we swing into the... Let's say we boss up Squawk and KO it. We've taken 2 prize cards. Our opponent has 3. They don't have to evolve another Ceruledge at all. And we're just kind of forced to sit and wait to KO it, and then they'll KO us and just win the game at that point. Like, they're not going to evolve now. They're going to wait until we deal with their active, because this is the bigger target. So this actually, like, Legacy, I think, gives them the huge upper hand over Battle Compressor, specifically in the mirror. Whereas Iono, I could KO their active, and hopefully they won't have a Ceruledge to follow up. So, please... Thank you. Okay, so we're going to put them down to 3 cards. Their top deck will be 4, obviously. And I'm hoping that after that, there won't be much they can do. And they'll have to just kind of give me a Charcadet or something easy to KO like that. And getting our other Pokégear is massive here. So this I'm loving. This actually might be like the perfect hand for the rest of the game. So now we're going to swing for KO and just kind of hope they don't have that evolution. I mean, if they get Night Stretcher, which I'd imagine they will. I mean, actually 2 are in the discard pile. They should, though. They should get Night Stretcher. I mean, they're seeing 1 card. They still have PokéStop. I'd imagine they play 3. They're promoting Charcadet. Maybe I Iono them into Ceruledge. That would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? That would be really unfortunate. They got the energy down, so they didn't play concealed cards, which is interesting. No, I Iono'd them into the Night Stretcher. Okay, that's fair. So they've got their last Night Stretcher, I'm assuming, has been played. However, they don't have a draw engine. I mean, they have Greninja, but they might not get energy left at this point, because they played 11, and they take the KO too. Okay. All right. How do we do this? How do we do this? I mean, it's pretty obvious. They either got it or they don't next turn. I don't have another Iono. There's really not much I can do about it. I can't play Briar from what I understand, because they're at 1 prize remaining, right? I mean, we'll see. Let's read this. If your opponent has exactly 2 prize cards remaining, which they don't. Knocked out by a Terra attack, we take 1 more prize card, and we have only Terra Pokemon, which obviously makes sense why I would take an extra prize card. However, they've got 1 prize card remaining because they were able to go first and KO Charcadet. So that's unfortunate. So I guess I'll just take Boss's orders. I don't think it really matters, though. Right? I mean, we could deck ourselves out, but that's dumb. I'm still going to try to see if I can get... Okay, the other boss. I was going to say, see if Briar works off some glitch. I mean, I probably wouldn't even play it, because that wouldn't be the right way to win. But it would have been fun just to get into it. And we're swinging 350. We could totally hit, 40 more damage this turn and just Ultra Ball away our energy, so that's pretty epic. However, it's also pretty useless. So I think here we just swing 350. They've either got the evolution or they don't. And that's fine. You know, we did as well as we could. I don't even think Legacy mattered so much, as they were just able to attack first. And there's our Brilliant Blender. I kept saying Battle Compressor, didn't I? Why? Does the art look the same? Is that why? I'm looking it up. I don't even remember what Battle Compressor looks like. But I totally keep saying that. Battle Compressor. Dude, it doesn't even look similar. I have no idea why I keep doing that. And they Carmine. Oh, they're drawing into If they weren't drawing into their Ceruledge, they just decked themselves out into it. Yeah, all right, well played. I mean, you know, respect to our opponent. Hit him with the thumbs up. I think just going first was the make or break for us. You know, we went second. We weren't able to take that first KO. They kind of shut down Briar, and maybe Legacy Energy is the better energy. I just like that battle compressor. The Brilliant Blender play. That's what I get for playing Brilliant Blender. I can't even say the new A-Spec right. I just eternally call it a card that's, one, not similar. It doesn't even do something similar, does it? What did it do again? I love that this is the tangent I need to figure out in the middle of the game. Has nothing to do with the deck. Search your deck for 3 cards and discard them. Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I'm confusing it. It's a double B card, Battle Compressor, Brilliant Blender, and it's a similar effect. All right, I feel a little better about confusing the two. But still, that lost hurt. Losing the mirror match. I mean, I won my Archaludon mirror match in my last video, but losing this one hurts. However, you did get to see both builds play, I think, very well, which is pretty amazing. So hey, we're 1-1. Can't be too upset about that. Let's get into match number 3 and see if we can at least get ourselves the positive record with Ceruledge EX. Welcome to match number 3. We are going second, which hurts, man. I feel like it's just been a going second type of day on a deck that's itching to go first, so there's not much I can do about it. However, our opponent is playing Noctowl, Manaphy. I don't know what they're playing. Based off this, it's Pikachu or Terrapagos. Because Surging Sparks was just released, I am assuming it's a Pikachu deck, which hurts a lot. However, they did just pass. So this isn't bad. Maybe their hand's a little dead, and honestly, at this point, I'll take it. So we do have Brilliant Blender. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to stick all of our Pokemon, or all of our energy in the discard pile. And then we're going to research and hopefully draw into Squawk or just something else that could help me set up. So let's Brilliant Blender, get a lot of energy in the discard pile. We could attach one to active. Why not? Let's attach one to active. I mean, we got 5 extra energy in our discard pile with Brilliant Blender. And I was thinking about, you know, what if I put Squawk in the discard pile? But I was worried about not getting Night Stretcher or something and then kind of losing access to it. But, you know, forever punished. Here, we're going to get rid of Carmine Energy because those are the most sackable cards to take Squawk. And we are... Actually, is Squawk even the play? Because our hand is kind of insane. I really don't want to get rid of 2 Night Stretchers. Maybe I should have put something better in the discard pile with Brilliant Blender. Maybe we just take another Charcadet. Trust. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's play her safe. Let's play her safe. Let's also rip the PokéStop, just in case. I'm nervous for this one. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little worried. And our hand is a little dead. However, I fear nothing. We are running fades with this. So next turn, I got Ultra Ball for Ceruledge, not Armarouge, and I am gonna start swinging. The reason I didn't get it Squawk down is because I got both my Night Stretchers in my hand, and I'd be getting 0 value out of them, and I'd only have 1 left, and that just hurt me a little too much. I'd rather... Ooh, that's huge. Our opponent using PokéStop to get rid of a Noctowl DTE Ursaluna is crazy, and I will happily take that. So it seems like our opponent's in a little bit of a jam, a little bit of a brick, but I definitely am not complaining because my start ain't too great either, which I feel like is surprising. I feel like I've played this deck enough times to confidently say that despite having 20 energy, this deck is oddly consistent. Yes, we lost last match against the Mirror, which happens, and I feel like that's in part because we went first. So our opponent is able to get Fan Rotom down, but they can't use Fan Claw. That's what I thought. That's what I was rereading, just double checking. They can only use it on their first turn. So they're going to play Iono, give us a new hand, which honestly, I'm okay with that. I mean, yes, we had Ultra Ball to start attacking. However, we didn't really have much past that. Now we've got a playable hand. So if our opponent plays a basic EX Pokemon, I could boss it up, go for the KO. However, we would need a crazy top deck or PokéStop, and they get Buddy Puffing down. Not what I'd expect. Duskull Pidgey. I'm still trying to figure out what they're playing, to be honest. I guess Terrapagos is, yeah. I was going to say Terrapagos is what I'm leaning to the most. And they're going to bench it. Oh, can I get the KO on that this turn? My gosh, wouldn't that be sweet. So, here, we can get Greninja. We could give this a go. We could totally give this a go. It's So I think the play would be to PokéStop, then Greninja. Get rid of hopefully some non-item card. Oh, actually, that's pretty big. We lose Boss, which I'll take. But we do get a bunch more energy out of the deck. So hopefully Greninja will be able to draw us into Ultra Ball or Ceruledge. So we don't have to Carmine. I mean, if we do, we do. It's whatever. We'll accept it at this point. Okay, that's not bad. What Pokemon did we lose? Oh, wait. Did I lose that off PokéStop and I just... When did that hit the discard pile? Oh, is it off research? No. What? Wait a second. Wait a second. When did Ceruledge get discarded? Oh, it was with research. Okay. Hey, we're chilling. Look at that. I'm going insane this video. I swear, man. I'm just not good at recording after work. I feel like I say that a lot. But like I'm just a mess. Like I don't even know what's going on. So we're gonna boss up Terrapagos. We're gonna leave him with the Hoot Hoot. However, we're gonna jump up 2 prizes and really punish our opponent for playing that basic EX down against the absolute madman Ceruledge, which is just the new dump and go, man. It's just the new swing hard. Oh, that prize card, dude. This was probably my worst start. And look at the position we're sitting in. This is insane. I don't understand why this deck is consistent. I feel like I play decks with like 10 energy in them and I draw into 7 energy every other turn. And then I play a deck with 20 energy and I'm somehow able to flow nicely. It just, I don't get it. So they get knocked out down. They're not able to use the ability. Oh my god, wait. Isn't it when you play it from your hand? Yeah, they can't use the ability, period. That knocked out is a complete waste. It's not an ability you can choose to use. It's a when you play it from your hand if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, which our opponent doesn't anymore. So that's going to be a huge misplay for our opponent's end, and I think they're just trying to figure out what direction they take this, and I don't know if they have one at this point. I mean, we are going to start ripping into them from here. We got Charcadet down to get our 3 Ceruledge, like 3 Charcadets needed to finish out a game. We got Ultra Ball to get out a backup Ceruledge, and Briar for whatever point in the game I feel like trying to use Briar. So I am kind of loving where we're sitting. I think we're in a very good spot. I'm curious to see how our opponent works around this, if they even have an out. The longer we sit here, the more I think they just tapped out and they pass. So they're either stuck. I got no words at this point. I don't even know what to say. I mean, word, bro. I could dig with PokéStop, but like, why? Why? Like, I'm content. I'm satisfied. I'm just gonna take my prize card, move on, see if my opponent's got an out, and we get another Ultra Ball. So next turn I can go Ultra Ball. Oh wait, Ultra Ball, Nest Ball. If I don't get any other energy cards, get a 3rd Ceruledge, and truly tell my opponent to figure this one out, because I don't know how they make this comeback. Honestly, I am still thinking they tabbed out. I don't know if they just have an answer, period. This deck is insane. Like, I know I said that about Archaladin, but Ceruledge, Archaladin, like, these are some fun decks that I think the format really needed. I feel like the Stellar Crown format, this is actually really funny too. Sorry, side tangent. I feel like I get into these like meta how I feel rants always in my 3rd match, and I love it at this point. So if you're still watching it at this point, I appreciate you. You're like my like TCG therapist where I vent to, so thank you. But I feel like the Stellar Crown format, which a bunch of people commented and said they agreed when I was saying, it just felt kind of like bland. Like there wasn't enough variety, there wasn't enough different options. It was the same 4 decks winning everything, and if you didn't want to play those 4 decks, it was just boring and not fun. And I feel like all of the decks I'm testing, because it's not just these 2 videos that I've posted so far, I have already 3 recorded videos, and I've got 2 more decks to record. So I'm doing a good job like getting my videos pre-recorded, because my weeks are busy with work and school. But like all of these decks have been so much fun. Like I've had the time of my life playing these, and I think this is good. Like this is what the format needed to like rejuvenate people and bring back rogue decks and goofy decks. Like this is 100% a rogue deck. Also has some legitimate competitive viability. I mean, you're probably going to need Canceling Colognes for things like Resolute Heart Pikachu EX, or Mimikyus or whatnot, but like, dude, whatever. I mean, look at this thing. This thing is so much fun to play. At some point, I know someone's, yeah, they were inactive. I knew they tapped out. Someone's going to day 2 with this deck, just off hitting good matchups. It's too strong. It's too fast. This is not, it's going to be rogue, but it can't be that overlooked. I mean, this deck is cracked. Same with Archaladin. I think that one has a lot more legit competitive potential because there's a lot more to the deck. That could get you out of tricky situations like a Mimikyu or an Ogerpon. Like, that deck has more natural answers, like using basic Duraludon. But, I mean, these decks are just so much fun, and I think this is, like, what the format needed to just pick back up and get back to a point where it's, like, people in the Rogue community can experiment and play and just have fun running goofy decks that are, like, viable into the meta. So, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I appreciate it. As I mentioned before, nope, I always mess it up. On this side, in the last 30 seconds of the video, will be my TCG player affiliate code on the right side of the right side of the screen. I will never figure out how a camera works. So if you click that link, order cards, you'll support the channel. Thank you to everyone who's doing that, and thank you to anyone who wants to do that, as well as thank you to everyone for just simply making it this far, listening to me yap, and having some fun playing the Pokemon TCG. With that being said, stay epic. Peace.